Say New York to LA,
Yes.
and both of you walk on the jet, and there was only one first class seat, and somebody had to go to coach, somebody had to sit in first.
Okay.
How would you arrange that?
Are you asking me that?
Yeah.
Brother, if I was on a desert island and it wasn't nothing but a box of peanuts,
No, I didn't ask you
do you
that.
think
I
I'm
asked
giving
you
her the
about
whole box of
first
peanuts?
class seat. You would go first class
I would
and
go
put your
first.
wife in coach.
Yeah, she don't mind sitting coach. I do. I can't sit up there like sardines.
It's not whether she minds. It's inappropriate for a man to sit in first class and put his wife in
I
the
have
back.
claustrophobia.
That's not how Christ loved the church, man. That's not exemplifying Christ's love.
I don't. How you
The
say?
bride goes first. The woman goes first. You gotta love her.
No, the man was created first. So that gives you a clue right there.
No, she should help me.
Right. So I'm gonna help her. I'm gonna help her to coach. Do you mind going coach, babe?
If my husband's flying with me, we fly first class. But there are times when I buy the ticket. I'm the church administrator.
But if you both walk on the plane, do you feel like old school, like I'm gonna let him take it? He's the pastor, he's the bishop, he goes up.
If we bought that
your
ticket,
mindset, there's nothing. First of all, let me say, there's no judgment here. Forget them.
No.
There's no judgment. It's how you judge it. You judge it. Y'all can judge. I'm not judging.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it, man. What is the duty of the man? What is the duty of the man?
That's crazy.
Let's start with you first, Sweeney. What are your thoughts about the sermon? I see you got your hand on your head. What's going on, brother?
Nigga, we be talking, man. I don't know, man. Maybe this a popular church or some shit like that. Motherfuckers be talking about first class and shit like that. Shit ain't $10,000. Like that's not like. Okay, let's assume that this is that this is feasible. He's the bishop or the pastor of the church. You booked one first class ticket and one coach ticket, and you gonna tell the pastor of the church that he needs to go sit his ass and coach while you sit in first class? Like, is that what you're doing? You gonna tell the pastor of the church after you booked the tickets as the administrator? You said I booked one first class ticket, I booked one coach ticket. I know you the pastor of the church, but you're gonna go sit and coach, and I'm gonna sit. Me, the administrator, gonna sit in first class because reasons. But if we talk about relationships, right? Let's pull it away from the church thing. That shit didn't make sense that she said that. Who's doing that? What person is gonna book flights and be like, I'm booking one coach and one first class ticket, and you gotta go sit and coach while I sit in first class? Who's doing that? Nobody's doing that. So why are we even talking about it? That's a fucking Reddit post. It's not real.
It's an analogy. It's the principle of the matter that they talk on, not the actual.
Okay.
Shan, I don't think your mic connected.
Your mic not connected.
You sound like you speaking in the cave, brother.
But like, let's say fair. But like, even if that's an analogy, them niggas don't belong together at that. Like that nigga don't deserve no woman. She don't deserve no man at that point. If a nigga is buying first class and putting this woman in coach, or if a woman's buying first class and her nigga got to go sit and coach, this is stupid.
That's right.
This shouldn't even be a topic of conversation. Would you sit in first class while your woman's sitting and coach? Like what?
Sweeney, suppose those are the two last tickets on the plane.
Them ain't never the two
Your
last.
monologue went long.
Them ain't never the two last tickets on the plane. First class.
You would know.
Well, no, I think she did say in the beginning that
speak on if it is an analogy, speak on the principle of what the guy was trying to really convey instead of the airline. So it's basically, do you put your woman first? The whole idea is, I know, Sweeney, you want to beat us up about catching Spirit versus Delta, but on the idea of putting your woman first, but maybe you're the breadwinner, maybe you're the most important, or however you want to slice it. Should a man adopt the idea of his woman comes first before him across the board in everything in their relationship, everything in life. Sweet.
Okay. It depends. If we're talking about if I'm the breadwinner and we're talking about a situation where I need to be there, then you might come second because I have to be there. You second. I'm first. But if you're talking about a situation like, dude, we already do that type of shit. Your woman wind up driving a better car. You drive the bucket to work while she drives a nice little Mercedes or some shit that like, because this is outside my price range. But like she wind up driving the nice car and whatever. You know, you wind up sacrificing that damn fucking 2-door, you know what I mean? Not Maserati, little Corvette that you had because you got a wife and kids now, and now you have to settle and get her something that makes her comfortable. Like, yeah, I think yes, men tend to sacrifice for their women and children. We tend to put them first most of the time. Is there an instance where where you have to put yourself first? If it becomes if losing you becomes a danger to the family, you have to come first.
Sweeney, I don't understand you, dog, because I remember a while back, man, you move your Father's Day in order to appease your women in your life. Now you're talking about you want first class?
When did I say that? When did I say I wanted first class? And when did I say I moved my Father's Day to appease my women? You took that wrong. That's not what we did.
That's what you said.
Nothing to do with the women. It had nothing to do with the women.
Hey, yo, Hank,
you're conflating things.
You remember that, Goose? You remember that?
You made a swap so you could watch football in peace. I remember.
What does that have to do with appeasing the women?
So you just missed what he said. It was a quid pro quo.
When did I say that I deserve the first class?
You don't want to answer.
When did I say I deserve the first class ticket? I never said
Sweeney,
that.
you said just now that you guys changing Father's Day celebration had nothing to do with the women.
It had nothing to do with appeasing my woman. What does that have to do? You're
okay. So it was a group. Okay, I got you.
No.
It wasn't like I was dealing. It wasn't like I was like, oh man, my wife doesn't celebrate Father's Day. I'm gonna change it.
You see what he doing?
It had nothing to do with it.
Yo, my man, you said it was a quid pro quo. So you could watch football in peace. You changed some stuff around. I remember exactly.
What does that have to do with my
woman?
Don't
say nothing about no ticket. Stay on what he just asked.
What does that have to do with my woman?
That means you put.
What does that have to do with her? You think if I said I want to answer, you
want to answer to what you just asked?
No, it's rhetorical because it's a stupid question.
Oh, it's stupid because you know I'm gonna make you look stupid.
Right. Go ahead. Hey, JR, you can go to the next person. But this is dumb.
Okay, so
I never said I deserved it. I never said that I deserve.
All right, y'all.
To fly first class, I never said any of that.
You can jump double dutch all night. I'm gonna still
when did
answer
I say
that question.
When did I say that? Did I say I deserve a first class ticket? When did I say I deserve a first class ticket?
Okay, now he moving the goalposts. We
No,
talking about
that's what Hank said.
He
said last time. He said last time. He said last time.
Did y'all hear JR just said, let's chill. Come on, guys. Let's give him a good show. Let's give him a good show as well.
Wait, if he asked
Sweeney,
for,
what you said was,
and he know he was about to get it. Why he gonna run from it?
Sweeney, what you said was, if do I need to be there, quote unquote. You said, do I need to be there? And if I need to be there, then I come first. That's what you said. So that implies that you're taking first class, especially if you're the one that's speaking at the event and you guys were only afforded one first class ticket. That's what the impression you gave us. So Hink says,
no, I took
wait
the
a minute.
analogy.
Okay, well, I
took it away from first class and I used the analogy and I said,
okay, and use it in something else. Wait a minute. You sat in the front in the passenger seat and didn't get in the back. However you want to put it. But what Hink was essentially saying is you say that one day, but then he brought up the football thing. Now, your point is, well, wait a minute. I wasn't talking about my woman. That had nothing to do with my woman. But you got to understand how you do one thing is how you do everything. And that's typically the case for most humans. even though you acquiesce to the family men, the men of your family, uncle and pops and your cousin and your brother and all the brothers got together and you said, okay, cool, I'll move it since all the brothers is doing it. That's where the how you do one thing is how you do everything comes in, because even though it wasn't individualized for you and your woman on Father's Day in NFL Super Bowl, you still rolled with it.
Fair.
And so that it to us, it's maybe now I won't say us because I can't speak to me and Hink for sure, and obviously Kenny. It sounds like you saying one day, well, we'll do what we need to do for the women to make the women happy, and then the next day, but but if I got to be there, I'm sitting in the front seat.
Okay, fair.
And that's where we're trying to say, okay, make that make sense for us.
Well, I also just said 5 or 6 minutes ago, men do what's necessary for their women and children all the time. We often put the kids, women, and children first a lot of times. And also, y'all missed the part where I said, losing me is a detriment to the family. So if I'm lost, if I don't come first, then I come first. If we're talking about a fucking first class ticket, that's goofy. That's not like, if you're talking about putting yourself first for superficial, dumbass reasons, this is a stupid argument. But if we're talking about, because they even say, what do they tell you when you're on a plane? Put the mask on yourself first, and then you put the mask on your kid. You have to save yourself first. That's the only reference that I'm talking about when I say that I might have to come first. Outside of that, we put our women and children ahead of us all the time.
Got you. So you're saying basically for mission critical things, I'll come first, but for other stuff. So Kenny, I want to hear what Kenny got to say. Go ahead, Kenny.
Yo, Sweeney, you got a plaster for every sore. You realize that
golly,
there was something profound in what they were asking there. It could deal with chivalry. It could deal with seeing how you deal in the dynamic of your relationship, how important that woman is to you, etc. But there was a part that I would give him the first class seat because he had mentioned something about being all crunched up. He was actually a big guy. So I would say, you know what, maybe his wife might make that provision for him, because some women would and do the sacrifice. But I think though, you put your wife, your woman first every other time than getting a big piece of chicken. You're supposed to get that first. You already signed on that contract, provision, protection, all the sweet stuff that come with it. Your woman is supposed to be first. That's the woman you're supposed to protect. That's supposed to be a helpmate. Remember when we bring up the term of the social contract, as Rilla would say, no matter what that woman do, you're going to keep her out of harm's way. You're going to make sure that she's protected and covered. So you, in essence, you are implying that you're putting her first. As for that, the chivalry would be to put your wife in first class, bar any other situation, and you sit and coach. That would be the chivalrous thing to do. That would be the gentlemanly thing to do. And that would fall under the tenets that you swore when you took as your wife. I digress.
It's stupid to buy a first class ticket and a coach ticket. You just buy.
You're missing the premise.
Yeah, but let me but that happens sometimes, Sweeney. That does happen sometimes, especially if it's a flight to a popular city, and you're not one of those pastors that's flying on a private jet. That does it does. I worked with an artist for years. Didn't happen often, but it's a rare occasion that it happened. I didn't agree with all of them jumping on, especially Dietrich Haddon. That's wild to see him take the stance that he took. But I agree with Kenny, and I agree with what you were saying, Sweeney. Most times we put our women first. Shout out to all the alphas, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the masculine, manly men, you know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely gonna sit in first class. You definitely gonna make your woman sit in the back. You definitely ain't thinking about her first, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you the alpha, you gotta be seen and not, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be seen as the man. But, you know, for the rest of us that are average, you know what I'm saying? For the rest of the beta sim hosters, neutrons, and L7 squares out there. Yeah. Like, you know, we talking about in that particular instance, I think I heard the brother say, hey, I'm claustrophobic. He might have been a big dude, you know, putting him in coach might present an issue for him, which it would make sense for him to sit in first class or whatever, my opinion. But as Kenny said, barring anything crazy like that, then yeah, we are typically going to sacrifice for the comfort level of our woman or for the protection of our woman, whatever that looks like. So I don't really see an issue either way. I just prefer in this particular instance, like it looks more like balance to me, right? Because the brother said what he said. I didn't appreciate them jumping on him like that and then challenging his faith and judging. That part is wild. But Sweeney, that does happen where sometimes you're booking the flight. All them joints are booked up, man. Some of them big ballers fly solo dolo. The seats be all, off balance or whatever. It happens from time to time. But in that instance, barring like I can't sit in coach because my legs will be cramped, or I'm 6'7" dude. Yeah, most of us are gonna put our wife in coach first. We're gonna ride it out in the back.
Man, shit, I fly Southwest Airlines. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. I'm doing no goddamn flying, spending.
You paying that $30 upgrade there so you can stay in A1.
I sit at the back of the plane just because, so I can sit down and let everybody get off the plane, and I can sit there and chill instead of standing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. I don't know shit about buying first class tickets. I looked up. I said I told my wife, I was like, hey, yeah, if we ever travel to Japan, if the flight longer than 16 hours, we're going to buy first class. And then I actually just a few days ago looked up the price of first class tickets to Japan. That shit's $21,000 a person. Yeah. That's not in my wheelhouse.
Hey, but why didn't you just say that at the beginning without all the malarkey?
Why do you have to be such an argumentative person?
Why is that? You made a whole discussion like, you know what the leather feel like, that you sip champagne. I've been in first class. I could talk on it.
That nigga told you talking malarkey, nigga.
Malarkey. Look here, man. Look here. Sweeney, I'm gonna pull my dog back. I'm gonna get him up off your back, man. Let me say what I need to say. Look here, the dude now, Sweeney, don't do it, man. I'm gonna let him go again.
I said, get the money. What's wrong with getting the off my back, man? Get him up off my back, man.
I got you, man. I'm trying to help you, but you keep interrupting the game plan. Look here, he might be on standby, and so standby, he got to get in where he can fit in. That fight forward, you got to get in where he seat. Now, if it was me, what I would have did was, if I got a first class and my wife got a second class, a coach, whatever the case may be, I would have went back to a person, whoever sitting beside her, and said, "Hey, man, can I sit with my wife? Would you like this first class seat?" I'm sure whoever got it, they would have loved it. Man, I'll take it. Go ahead. You can have it, brother. I don't want no money. I don't want no compensation, man. I just want to sit next to my wife because she gets nervous on the flight. You know what I'm saying? And I would have operated like that just to make her feel good and feel secure. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to feel at ease or feel like I left her in no type of way. I don't try to make it look like I'm better than anybody else. Now, look, Sweet, you asked who paid for it. The congregation paid for it. When that man had that good sermon at last Sunday before he went on his Hawaiian trip, that's who paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all supposed to give 10%, but he wanted y'all to give 20% so he could pay for his first class flight. His wife, she chose not to because it might look kind of suspicious because she's a secretary. She handles the money. So, that's why she took that coach seat. No, I'm just playing. I'm bullshit. I don't know about that. But for real, I would have gave up my first class to the guy who's sitting next, or the person who's sitting next to her. So I could sit next to my wife, make her feel secure, make sure everything's all good. And, it's going to be a nice romantic and happy trip. So she won't feel some type of way when we land.
I'm asking my wife, why the hell did you book one first class flight? She booked the flights. You booked the flights. I didn't book the flights. You booked the flights. You the administrator of the church, and you went out there and said, "I'm gonna book one first class flight and one coach flight." You could have just booked us both some coach flights, and we could have been like, "What are we doing?"